Welcome to another Master Duel solo stories. It looks like we have another to add to this Gen X Ally of Justice storyline, which is the X-Sabers. I don't remember too much on the X-Sabers. They were kind of cool, I guess. Like, I remember using one specific one that was an XCs, but other than that, they just kind of go blank for me. I don't remember what they did. All right. The Sword of Will, X-Saber. Invasive creatures called worms have come drifting through space, eating other stars. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the worms were in this. An ally of justice called the Ally of Justice. Alliance of Justice called the Ally of Justice. Okay. Was founded to kill them. Sorry, it was throwing me off that I would even say that. It's so weird. The four groups at the heart of the Ally of Justice. Disciples of the mighty Ice Dragon, the Ice Barrier. Rulers of the Hazy Valley, the Mist Valley. Burning everything clad in flame, the Flamville, and the former mercenary group, the X-Saber. As the war against the worms progressed, X-Saber were put in a pinch. Some worms became smarter and instead of attacking in numbers, formed swarms that coordinated their attacks. And that would do it. Many were wounded by the mobilizing enemy, and many elite fighters were injured in battle. Some went right back into battle with machine prosthesis before their wounds even healed. Yeah, that's alright. To turn the tide of battle, a new strategy was needed. X-Saber leader Commander Gotham's Swordmaster was building a new strategy while comparing the past with the now. This is the X-Saber base. The X-Saber have an altar that imbues their weapons with great power. He is reminded of the owner of a single sword that has been struck into the ground there. The sword belonged to Gotham's, however, it once belonged to another individual. Long before the attack of the worms, an age where each of the groups were feuding for power, there was a mercenary group, X-Saber, that was founded by one man. The man at the center of it was X-Saber Souza. He cut down many enemies with his two swords. His skill was highly regarded by others. There were many drifters who did not have land or family to protect. They all threw themselves into battle with him to survive the war. Gotham's was one such drifter. Gotham's thought more highly of Souza than anyone else. The strength and charisma to lead the crude and fearless mercenaries. On the other hand, Gotham's also saw Souza's shortcoming. He was wild and ruthless and did not hesitate to sacrifice men for victory. Even as a group formed for survival, there are times when you must care about the condition of these soldiers. As soon as Gotham's joined the mercenaries, he did his best to display his worth to the group. He became Souza's right-hand man and took on the role of connecting Souza to his men. The aggressive Souza was able to create such a powerful army not only because of his absolute power, but also due to the tenacity of Gotham's, acting as buffer and shaping the organization. The group needed these two things to maintain balance. However, Gotham's contribution to the group leads to its splitting off between ones that followed Souza and ones that are loyal to Gotham's. Gotham's was loyal second in command to the aggressive Souza. More and more people started to regard him as their leader. Some have even openly spoken to him to lead the group instead of their reckless leader. What will happen to us if we were divided as a group in the midst of this war? The smaller factions will be eaten alive and soon disappear. However, Gotham's barely tolerated Souza's temperament, but Souza's powerful spirit and commitment to lead the group into battle was something he admired. The two factions seemed calm on the surface, but the descent only grew over time. If there were to continue, it would spell disaster. While tensions grew higher within the group, an incident occurred. During a mission, Souza disappeared. Gautam's and his men looked for him, but found only one of his swords. The blade was still sharp, and there were no signs of battle in the area. In other words, he left one of his swords and disappeared without a trace. With no clues to find, Gautam's abandoned the search. Gautam's was faced with another big decision. How can the group survive without Souza, its spiritual pillar? Interesting. It sounds like Souza kind of left the role for Gautam in general. Like, he realized that everybody was splitting off and he needed to leave for everyone to stay together. So he seems like a pretty good leader on that end. Knowing when you need to depart is very important. Alright, here we go. X-Saber cards are notable for their battle-related effects and effects that assist with deploying monsters. With the help of cards like X-Saber Fultrol, quickly prepare monsters that will serve as material, and then synchro summon mighty monsters that X-Saber Gautam's powerful spells and key trap cards like Gautam's Emergency Call and Saber Hole can also help bring victory close. Okay. So they're a spell trap deck? Alright, use the effect of Saber card to win. Okay. Blah, blah, okay. Oh, whoops. Summon. Bump. Okay. Another Arbellum. Bump. Monsters on the field, you special summon Fultrol. So, Fultrol must be a tuner of some sort. Souza. Awesome. I guess I was wrong. He was just strong. Alright. And now use the effect once per turn. You can target one level 4. Oh, nice. Okay, so they swarm the field. They're basically just a warrior deck. Warrior decks just kind of do this all the time. They have their own things. It's pretty cool that you can have both on the field this easily. You've built up an impossible field. Let's practice. Okay. Wait, let's proceed to the battle phase. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. Force your opponent to discard. Wait, what? You contribute 1 X-Saber. Monster discard 1. Destroy that monster. Okay. These effects seem so lackluster, but they're like made in a time where it actually kind of mattered, so I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's just like the older cards really do seem much weaker than the newer ones. Alrighty, so it looks like I like the sleeves, the protector sleeves, but like it's the old-timey type of artwork where it felt kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the look of this reminds me of how old the older cards actually look after a certain amount of time, like when they've been beaten up. That's the type of look that the X-Sabers always gave me, that they've been abused over the time. It's pretty interesting. The impact of losing X-Saber Souza was immense, but they fought together and went through good and bad together. If the group were to fall apart now, more would die. So Gautam's assumed leadership of the group that Souza left behind, to polish what Souza had built and pass on the group to the next generation. Later, Gautam's became the new commander of the mercenary group X-Saber, a band of mercenary ruffians. We must transform into a band of swordsmen that work together to improve our skills and fight with spirit. Gotham's was determined. He nominated 10 elite swordsmen, each in charge of leading a handful of soldiers that wins and leaves no one behind. Some left the group due to these reforms, but Gotham's didn't blame those who did. Many decided to stay, and thus the group was reborn. With Gotham's in command, X-Saber Urbellum took his side. With these talented soldiers, X-Saber grew to become the largest on the continent. He established a base and even rules over the entire region. There were times in the past when we had to remobilize due to the change in battle. Same can be said about now. They developed new tactics and techniques to resist the worms that have evolved to become more organized on top of their strength. Gotham's handpicked a selection of elite agents once again. He urged his soldiers to use equipment with the newest technologies and plan coordinated attacks, using skills cultivated in the Ally of Justice. Some of the 10 elite soldiers had been a part of the group, some had joined anew, but all were the best in the field. The 2X's work together in battle. The 2X's multiplies the power of X. What? What does that even mean? X is already like 2x2 equals 4 type of stuff. So what the heck are you talking about? To push this idea forward, Gotham's changed the name of the group to X-Saber and confronts the worms. Thus began a new battle of those who inherited spirits of the sword. Wait, that was it? Oh, okay. I had assumed there would be more. It's a little lackluster. Ooh. Please let me pull at least one. No? Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I love the Arcana Joker deck. It's such a funny deck for me, in my opinion. This is the one. This is the one I was talking about. X-Saber Invoker is the only one I actually fully remember. Anyways. As stories go, this one was definitely lore related, but it had nothing to do with the worms, so it was pretty interesting. I do like that they basically clarified some of the info regarding the backgrounds of the regions that were against each other before the Ally of Justice. The only thing is, like, it doesn't necessarily explain why they were fighting. I think they were just fighting just 'cause, but I mean, they're fighting together now, so I guess it doesn't really matter. The story was fine. I thought it was pretty cool. It did feel very impactful at the beginning, so it's just near the ending. It felt a little bit like it fell off, but still pretty good. Anyways, if you like the video, like the video. If you have a comment, leave a comment. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, evening. Either one's fine.